Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on New Comic Book Day. All returning favorites this week. So let's dive right in. What kind of pick did you go with this week?
So I actually had to think because there were a couple good ones out this week.
It was a big week and a lot of our favorites.
Yes, but I kind of just decided to land on this one. I've got Void Rivals issue 31. And so for the last couple issues of the series, we've been dealing with the whole Quintesson War.
Yeah.
Which was a big thing. A bunch of big stuff happened. Kind of changing up the direction of the series going forward for a bit anyways. But so this issue, we get to kind of it's a nice little one and done where we get to kind of pull back a bit and check in on everyone's favorite, surprising favorite character, Skuxoid.
Yes.
Which I remember because he shows up at the end of issue 2. And it's just oh, okay, so we're just kind of pulling in all the kind of background characters.
Yeah, they're just here's an Easter egg, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we figured.
Yeah, and then he ends up just kind of having this surprisingly emotional arc throughout various issues of the series, finding out, because we meet him, he seems just some guy, he's kind of a scavenger dude, maybe slightly bounty hunter-ish almost.
Yeah.
But then he's got this whole thing with his family and he can't find them, and we come to learn, he's actually one of many Skuxoids that basically there was this alpha Skuxoid, and every time he would get injured and there'd be parts that come off, they would grow into new Skuxoids.
Yeah.
And he was turning them into an army, and this one's just I don't want to be part of your army. I just want to live my life. And so this issue, we finally come back to that. The Skuxoid we've been following, he's kind of raised his own army of followers. He's hey, listen, we don't have to do this. We're all Skuxoid. We're all equal. And they get in this whole big fight with the Alpha and everything. They have their own kind of personal showdown. And he gets way more emotional than you're probably expecting a comic featuring these guys to be. But no, there's we kind of get to learn some more about the Alpha's past and their whole the whole Skuxoid's past, what happened with them and their family and everything. And it's actually really kind of touching, and there's this double page spread that I know you haven't actually got a chance to read this one yet, but when you get there, it's just it's actually very sweet. It's one of the more emotional beats in this entire run so far, which is just beautifully rendered by, I'm trying to remember the artist's name here. Connor Hughes has been doing a lot of the recent issues on this series. And just really captures the emotional weight going on here.
Well, and it's funny how Kirkman is using the Skuxoid stories as kind of this, it's this additional comic almost, right?
Yeah.
Like the Skuxoid stuff, while it kind of bumps in every now and again, really it's not tying back a whole lot other than it's happening in the same time and place. So is it I assumed that as his story kind of started expanding that it would tie back in again, and I'm sure that he'll touch back in again, but I think this is kind of more the purpose is hey, this is just kind of your backup story that you're getting in addition to, and every, 5 or 6 issues, you're going to get a solo story with Skuxoid, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying it.
It's super interesting because one of the things that this whole Transformers Energon universe, all that, it being a big part of it being set in space, it's cool getting to have them explore and introduce either older stuff like Skuxoid or the newer concepts like the Sacred Ring and the different the Zertonians and the Argorians living there and everything. It's really cool getting to touch on that because obviously Transformers, we get to do all the Earth stuff where they're hiding amongst people and all that. But yeah, it's also this big epic sci-fi space war thing and all these other races and beings getting involved. Which, hey, if you've made, I'm not going to spoil it just in case you haven't seen, but there's maybe going to be another fan favorite character showing up in upcoming issues of Void Rivals. Yeah, someone that maybe people have been waiting to show up in something for a long time now.
Correct.
Yeah. But yeah, just getting to like touch on these like little like side corners of the universe just really helps to make it feel more like fleshed out, and it's not just like Earth and Cybertron. Like there's other stuff happening, even if those two worlds like have huge influences on it all.
It's kind of like his additional characters that he creates and tells little stories of in the Invincible universe.
Yeah, like you spend a good chunk of Invincible being like, oh, Battle Beast is just like this guy, and then like he kind of like becomes more important as it goes to the point where he's got his own spin-off comic now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, this is. There might be a little theme here going, because this is kind of like a little bit of an ending for now for the Skuxoid saga.
Sure.
You have another ending this
it's
week.
all endings this week. Yeah, very good. All right, so I went with Ultimate Endgame. Or did I? Did I go with Ultimate Universe Finale? They're really the same story. I mean, it's the same. One is the continuation.
Yeah, we were talking before the finale should have just been like an extended epilogue within Endgame.
Yeah, it would have been a massive book, but it would have made more sense that way. So Dennis Camp gets to put a bow on this universe, and we're slightly over 2 years in. Yeah, and then just go just over. I
guess like kind of 2.5 at this point.
Yeah, 2.5. That tracks. Yeah. So, where were we, dear readers, last time we had an issue? So the Maker was getting out of his time bubble, and things were not going well for the superheroes.
To quote American Dad, the all is lost moment.
Yes, exactly. So we had a couple prominent heroes brutally murdered. Mm-hmm. I won't name names because I know that there are a lot of you that are trade waiting this stuff. Mm-hmm. But brutally murdered. Things were going badly. All the plans that Tony and Doom and the Ultimates had to stop the Maker and the Guardians showing up, all of it was just not working. Mm-hmm. And it continues to do so in this book. So I'm not going to talk about what actually happened in it. I'm going to talk more about how Dennis Camp actually stuck the landing in a big event book at the end of a 2-year continuity. Mm-hmm. And for me, a lot of times what ends up happening is you get all this buildup, and all the buildup is really interesting, and then you get this kind of quick ending, and it just feels anticlimactic, and it doesn't quite work. And honestly, man, I've been doing this long enough that I know that is the typical end for any kind of event, right? Like that's almost always how it ends. And it really has a retroactive effect on people's opinion of the entire series.
Oh, I there's so many event books I can think of where I get to the end and it's just like, there's a bunch of books I like that I just don't like anymore because it was all leading to this, and this was just poop.
Yeah, it just like it's tough to do, you know, like it's tough to stick the landing. Now, do I think that it was perfect? No. Is it exactly what I would have done? No. Do I think that editorial probably got in there a little bit and they were thinking, sales numbers, give us more sales numbers? Probably. Yeah. But we know that Dennis Camp is walking away from it. This is it for him. It's done. And we also know that there are no continuations of the creative teams that created all of this stuff. They've all walked away from this. So when they said it was done, they meant it, kind of. So how then do you make this a worthwhile period at the end of this whole story, right? And I think that the thing that Dennis Camp did really well was he made us care about Doom the entire time. Yeah. And while there are, I don't know, I guess there were some parts that kind of got tied up neatly and quickly and whatever. There, as a whole, the emotional investment that you've had in these characters and in this book got a worthwhile conclusion where you actually do kind of have a that was sweet, that was good. And you get one of those moments in here. And it's also the action goes all the way right up until the end. And I think that's where we come into the fact that they had the Ultimate Universe finale.
Yeah.
They didn't have to spend time in the Ultimate Endgame number 5, the final issue, on any of the aftermath stuff. Like, it was pretty much, you get to the last couple pages and it's just what happened, and that's it. And so the majority of the book is action-packed, it's pedal to the metal, it's go, 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 and then you get to live in that moment. That is the culmination of this 2.5-year story. And then I really do think that if you've been reading all of it, the finale is worth picking up and just kind of seeing, like, okay, well, what does this all mean? Yeah,
because with the finale, the cool thing there is that they brought back all the creative teams from the book. So you got Hickman and Kiketo doing one last little story with the Spider-Man family. Yep. Got Momoko doing one last little story with the X-Men in Japan. And it's kind of a nice way for everyone to get put, like, one last little stamp on these characters that they spent all this time with themselves and with you, the reader.
Yeah, and they did it for everyone. Not every character, certainly, but every one of the different publication iterations that were out there for it. So yeah, it was really enjoyable. I really liked the pace, the art, everything through all of it. It just felt like an actual, real, solid finale for an event that was built up really large. So honestly, it's far and away the best thing that Marvel's been doing the last couple of years. It's not even really close. So yeah, if you haven't read it, I recommend checking it out. It's good all the way through. So, all right. Now let's move on to...
Our joint pick this week is Satanic. I had something stuck in my throat there.
Oh, you got to say it backwards.
Anyway, Satanic issue 3. So don't worry, not the end of the book, just the end of the story arc. Should probably clarify that. Yeah. So, basically this whole opening arc she's been dealing with, there was this kind of like spirit entity causing havoc amongst a bunch of different realms and having to figure out like why and how to fix that while simultaneously dealing with a new division of the Department of what are they called again?
Keep going. I'll
it's Mr. Bones' whole group.
Yeah.
Like the DEO or something like that. Point being is they've got their own ideas about like how to deal with magical
occult affairs.
They've got their own ideas of like how to deal with these magical threats, and they are usually a bit more on the side of like either kill it or vivisect it.
Vivisect happens quite a bit.
Yeah, and obviously Satan's just like, well, no, you can't do that.
Right, you don't get balanced that way.
Yeah, and what I really liked with this issue in particular is how now that she's kind of like as the Prime Magus, like this kind of Sorcerer Supreme-esque role within the DC universe, she's really going to touch on a bunch of these like very like distinct and different like magical like ideas and mythologies.
Yeah.
Like in particular in this issue, there's a lot of voodoo stuff. There's a lot of like Greek stuff in there.
Yeah.
All just beautifully rendered. Like there's like this whole double page spread where there's basically a ritual being done to help like heal her, and it's super cool. Like Campbell just, God.
I'm upset about this book.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm angry.
Yeah?
I'm angry that Jamal Campbell is one of the best writers in comic books right now, in addition to being one of the best illustrators in comic books right now. It's unfair.
Yeah.
It's too much talent for one person. Jamal Campbell made a deal with the devil or something, and it's unfair, Jamal. You need to give some of that talent to other people. You need to share. You can't have it all for yourself.
What is that noise?
It's somebody at the door. And now they're coming in the door. Even though we're recording our video right now. Well, come over here and apologize.
I'm so sorry.
It's Alonzo. Alonzo is coming in the front door.
I forgot.
Yeah. Away with you. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, why can't he be like, I'm not going to name
Why can't he be mortal like the rest of... Yeah, like why can't he be a really good artist and a terrible writer?
I was just like, should I name names? It's like, no, I don't. First of all, I don't want to start that discourse about how people feel about certain people in the field.
Yeah.
But no, because I mean...
Basically, almost anybody who left Marvel to go to start up Image, right? They were all amazing artists. A lot of really mediocre writers. Sorry, guys, it's true.
Yeah, Oh, you can go to bat for who you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
But anyways, Campbell, just God, like this is definitely one of those books where like I like Satana. I always like to check out stuff that she's in.
Underutilized.
But a big part of why I want to check this out is like, I really like Campbell. I mentioned before he's someone I've been following since he was just like posting fan redesigns of characters on DeviantArt. Like this, and especially you can see his art style grow and evolve from there to where it is now.
It's super cool. Amazingly polished. Like it's just gorgeous on every single page. I don't know where the guy finds the time.
I will say he has talked about like he's not going to be able to get to draw like every issue of this run, which is like understandable. Like totally get that. Yeah, like I think like the next issue's got like a fill-in artist, but well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and even like the way that he visualizes music, because music is such a big part of this first three issue arc, and the way that he moves characters along with the music through the panel, like that scene where they're throwing Zatanna, and it's just crazy good. It's crazy good. All right. Well, that was our top 3 picks this week. We highly recommend that you check them out. What was close to making? We alluded to it was a really big week and tough decisions.
God, yeah, there was so much. New issue of Superman this week is Superboy Prime versus Manchester Black, the battle of the edgy 2000s characters.
I like it.
Yeah. So we got that. We've got new issue of Absolute Wonder Woman was out this week. Was super good.
Yeah.
I really like. Because we talked about this because the previous issue that was up here, like, they're definitely acknowledging, like, we're going to be putting Wonder Woman through the paces now. Like, she's had her first loss and she's having to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's super good.
And it's having an effect on her.
Yeah, she has a whole conversation in this issue where it's just like, if something bad happens, I'm never going to forgive you.
Yeah.
Like, which, considering so much of this run has been, like, her being this very, like, loving and kind character, and now she's just like, nah, I'm not having this. Like, it's really nice getting to see her like push this far, and you can check in with like all of her supporting cast too.
Yep.
God, what? Yeah, there was so much this week. Let's see.
Captain America. You were talking about Captain America.
Captain America. It's one of those like we get to see what happens when you drop Captain America into hell. Predictably. Things are going to probably get better, or probably going to get worse before they get better. There's maybe some familiar faces there that of course you'd be in hell. Why would you be?
Well, can't imagine who that would be. But, we had a new Infernal Hulk this week, a new Absolute Superman this week. So many good books.
Oh yeah.
It really is kind of a plethora of excellent storytelling right now. DC has just got so many titles that are so solid. Anyway.
One other one I wanted to mention quick this week is, so this whole month, since it's Pride Month, DC's been doing kind of like a little like weekly mini-series. Featuring a bunch of their characters for that. And what I really love, because normally they've done like kind of like a one-shot anthology, but what they've consistently done in the last several years for all of these is that at the end of it all, there's always like a like personal story from someone in the field.
Sure.
Who like they had Kevin Conroy, who everyone knows is the voice of Batman in like so many things.
Right.
They had Phil Jimenez do one. This year, Klaus Janson got to do one.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was like super cool getting to like see like his kind of like how he like got into comics and becoming an artist, and like how he got into like finding that side of himself is just super cool.
Yeah, because he's been in for a long time.
Very
long time. Yeah. 80s?
I think it might have been late 70s.
Could be, because famously inked Frank Miller.
Yeah.
So interesting, good stuff. Yeah, and then we had Absolute Flash Volume 2. Yeah, Volume 2 come out.
Both
so.
trade paperback and hardcover.
For those of you that are classier.
Yes. Also,
oh yeah, Summer of Supergirl.
We got the new Supergirl movie comes out tomorrow, actually.
I've got my ticket.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Got this fun little one-shot they did featuring her and some other characters. And then also literally every DC comic this week just has an ad for it on the back.
Yeah, I like that they switched up the images, though, so it wasn't all just the same image. Although, I can't lie, the way that they set up the pictures on those reminds me of the Got Milk promos that they did on the back of comics forever
God,
in
I
the late
remember
90s
those.
and early 2000s. Yeah, I see them all the time on trade-ins that come in. So, like, every time I see those, I just my brain just kind of puts a little Milk mustache.
That's when I started reading comics was there in 2000. So I remember seeing it was always like
everywhere.
those in like video games that I was vaguely aware of.
Oh yeah. Well, it was never the good video games advertised on the back of those, right? It was always like Battletoads.
Yeah, it was
stuff like that.
All the good video game ads got to be on the inside. You got that double played page spread of like, ooh, new Dak and Jackster game coming out. Like,
Toe Jam and Earl. All right. Well, we really appreciate you sticking around for us to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about the comic books that we like this week. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, share. Man, I forgot all the things. Subscribe. There you go. It's Alonzo banging around in the back. It's always a teenager. Teenagers always are just making my life more difficult. And then be sure to stop into your local comic shop and pick up some comic books because that's what this whole thing is about. We'll be back, not next week. We'll be back at some point in time. We are considering some format changes, so be on the lookout for that. But I am gone next week. I'm taking time off for the first time in 5 years.
Has it been that long?
It has been 5 years since I've taken more than 1 day off. Yeah.
Barring medical emergencies.
Right. Well, maybe I did take 2 days off last year. Yeah, I took 2 days off. I took a Friday and Saturday off last year. But anyway.
I mean, you deserve it, so.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but it's got to happen. Or I'm just going to drop dead in the middle of the storm.
You have to put up with us every day, so I think you deserve it.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back in some capacity sometime soon, so be sure to join us, and thanks for being here today. When we come back, we'll be happy to see you. Until then, enjoy the reading.
Oh, there's some just like random points in the store that just kind of like sag a little. I've noticed.
That happens to us when we get older.
Yeah.